Every mask has a story. This one is real. The names in this story have been changed. The events have not. She left work the same way she always did. Same route, same thoughts, same quiet drive home to the life she had spent 7 years building. But when she turned onto her street, something was wrong. Police vehicles, officers on her porch, and her husband, the man she had loved since she was 20 years old, being walked to a patrol car in handcuffs. She sat in her car. She didn't move. She didn't cry, because some part of her already knew. Whatever she was about to learn, she could never unlearn. Jennifer met her husband in college. They were 20 years old. She was studying communications. He was studying education. Quiet, warm, the kind of man everyone trusted immediately. They built a life together slowly and intentionally. A marriage that felt to everyone who knew them like the kind you read about. Stable, real, built to last. For 7 years, Jennifer came home to this man every single night. She knew the way he took his coffee. She knew the sound of his laugh. She knew, or believed she knew, every important thing about him. She was wrong. While Jennifer was at work, while she was building her career, coming home tired, making dinner, planning their future, her husband was in his classroom, with a student. Not once, not a moment of terrible weakness. Ongoing, planned, hidden behind the face of a man his entire school trusted with their children. For years, Jennifer had absolutely no idea. Neither did anyone else. Jennifer said later the strangest thing happened when she finally understood. Standing on her own porch, officers around her. She felt completely calm. Not rage, not devastation. Calm, like her body had been bracing for something it couldn't name. She answered every question. She walked through every room of her own home like a stranger. And that night she sat alone in the silence of a life that had become completely unrecognizable. How does a person live this kind of secret? Come home every night, look the person they married in the eyes, and feel nothing. Researchers who study this behavior describe something called compartmentalization of moral identity. The mind builds completely separate chambers, walls so thick that each chamber feels like its own entire world. In one chamber, the devoted husband, the trusted teacher, the respected community member. In another, something the outside world is never supposed to see. The loving husband is not a performance. He genuinely exists. Both versions of this man were completely real. That is why they are impossible to detect. Because you are not looking for a monster. You are living with someone who in every moment you can see is not one. Jennifer Faison did not hide. She told her story publicly, not for revenge, not for attention, but because she understood something that took real courage to say out loud. The silence that surrounds stories like hers is exactly the silence that allows them to keep happening. She wrote about it. She spoke about it. She refused to disappear. Her husband was convicted. He is serving his sentence. And Jennifer is still here, changed forever, but still here. The most devastating thing about Jennifer's story is not what happened. It is how invisible it was. No signs she overlooked. No moments she later recognized as warnings. Just an ordinary life with an extraordinary darkness living quietly inside it. And that is what stays with you long after you stop watching. Not the obvious dangers, but the ones wearing the faces of people who love you. The mask always slips. It's just a matter of time. I'm Behind the Mask, and I'll see you in the next one.